Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth. In the last episode we went through Agrabah, and in this episode we're going to go to our next Disney World. Yeah guys, this is pretty much what all these intro recaps are just going to be in a nutshell. Because, it's just me explaining, what we did in the last episode, and then, where we went in the last episode, and then we're going to go to the next episode. So it's kind of like, just repeating myself. But today we're going to be going to Monstro. So, one thing I should know that, one of the cards was actually originally from the second half of Sora's campaign. So even in Riku's first half, then we actually get one of them from that other half there. So in this case, one of them was Neverland. But that was just it though, and I believe some of the other cards when we get to Riku's second half will also be from Sora's first half. So yeah, I guess I don't know, they kind of seem randomized, or they just put it in their own way. So. Anyway, so, let's see here. Also, this is actually my second commentator attempt here, because, I had a major brain fart attack what I was saying, so, and, it kind of came off as embarrassing, so I kind of wanted to restart this one. So I was trying to, pick back up, what it was I was saying during this instance, so, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. So, one thing about Riku's dark mode is that he gets to use his own slates, but just like with Sora, then he's whichever first card that you pick out, then it's actually gone. So yeah, so you still want to be careful, especially if you're very reliant on the slates here. But I actually still don't really show them off this episode because once again I completely forgot. I really haven't played this in a long time, so, it's hard for me to remember stuff like that. But I will definitely make sure to show it off for the next recording session, and one second, I got an itch in my ear. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. I kind of heard the noise there because I accidentally just flicked my microphone, so. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'll be sure to just show it off, so. Another thing that I do want to talk about is that I actually did do some research for some differences between this version and the GBA version for Riku's campaign, and there's quite a couple of differences here. For one thing, the dual system. The dual system actually is a Rechain of Memories exclusive, if I haven't mentioned that yet. And so, yeah, because of that, then, look at the GBA version where, it actually does not have the dual system whatsoever, then that kind of makes Riku's campaign like very much an abridged version of Sora's campaign. So in a way, it's kind of dull and uninteresting because of it. Now Riku actually still does have his dark mode in the GB version, but the thing about it is though is that it actually apparently it doesn't really have a meter. So basically, in other words, it can happen very much randomly if he just continues to attack. I mean, it still functions the same as when you break the enemy or break the enemy's cards or your opponent's cards, basically. But because the meter wasn't even there, then it basically happens at random, or like when you least expect it to. So. But here, at least you actually get to see it, so you'll know when the Dark Power is going to come up, so, probably going to be less surprising. And, and about the dual system, it's actually something I'm really glad that the remake added in. So that way their combat actually gets a lot more refined, and, kind of gets a little more stylish like that. And so that way their Riku actually will get his own kind of moves. Like, even though, well, I mean, granted though, even in this version, it is still very much like an abridged version of Sora's campaign, especially going through the worlds themselves. But at least with the added dual system in Rechain of Memories, then it actually does make things a lot more interesting, and something that something more refined as far as the combat goes. So yeah, if you're playing the GBA version, then you're probably gonna be It's not going to be as interesting, I will say, when you go through Riku's campaign. In fact, as a matter of fact, the GBA version is probably the most boring part. Well, in Riku's campaign, it's probably the most boring part of the whole game itself, though. So, yeah, just hope if you're playing the game, then, well, hope you have your coffee, because, because, I mean, I could probably just find myself falling asleep, though. And, I guess, some could say it could be set for 3 to 5 days over 2. Now, granted, I actually have not played 358 Days Over 2. I've seen the cinematic version of that game on the AHD compilations, though, but I haven't played the games themselves, though. And, you know, judging from what I've heard, it probably, you know, wasn't making me feel interested or very much compelled to actually play 358 over 2. But I think eventually, though, I might have to go and pick it up myself, though, because, God forbid, I would have to be planning to do a Let's Play of the game, though, and, you know, and some of you guys could probably say that, you know, maybe I could have just commentated over the cinematic version, but I wouldn't want to do that, because maybe you guys want to see it, too. Well, I mean, then again, you know, if you actually have the copy of the games, you actually just say, you know, still see on the games themselves, or, actually, as a matter of fact, even if you don't have those games, and you actually want to see them yourselves, then there are videos like that on YouTube, where, you know, people actually uploaded the whole cinematic version on YouTube themselves, though. So, like, even then, you know, you actually just watch them, the cutscenes on YouTube itself, though. But, I don't know, you know, when it comes to doing Let's Plays of the game, then, you know, maybe I would have to talk about the game themselves, though, you know, just do my own kind of take on them, so I probably would have to pick up a Nintendo DS copy of the game, and, you know, just, you know, I had to practice on it, and, you know, just do a playthrough of the game itself, though, and, that'd be something I'd be dreading, but, you know, I'm gonna have to. Hey, you know, I like I said, I don't really, because, you know, I didn't really think much of Chain of Memories at all, though, and yet I'm doing the Let's Play of it, because, you know, I'm going to have to, because, you know, since I've already started doing a Let's Play of Kingdom Hearts 1, well, you know, I started the whole Kingdom Hearts franchise, and, you know, I've already finished Kingdom Hearts 1, and, you know, considering that this is the true sequel to that game, and taking place before Kingdom Hearts 2, then that means I'm going to have to do a Let's Play of that game, or this game itself, before then, so, yeah, as far as the position goes, for when I'm doing my Let's Plays for Kingdom Hearts. So, obviously, Kingdom Hearts 2 is going to be coming next after this for the Let's Play. So, when I get back to doing the franchise. And then after that will be 358 Days Over 2. Then after that is Birth by Sleep. After that, then it'll be Recoded. And then after that is Dream Drop Distance. And then after that will be Kingdom Hearts 3. And then after that, probably Melody of Memory. So, I mean, that's probably what will be so far, though. At least, you know, that's actually what I'm saying as of now. Because, you know, since with Kingdom Hearts 4 being in development, then, you know, that's what I'm saying as of now. So, you know, you know, since Kingdom Hearts 4 hasn't been released yet, you know, we haven't really gotten much updates about it at all. I mean, just a trailer and then some of the images, though. But that's it. So, nothing else coming of it. So, that is what the plan would be, folks. So, hope you guys look forward to it. I mean, I know I'm especially looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 2, because, you know, I actually fucking love that game, though. Although, I will say that, you know, considering that I am actually, obviously, doing the Final Mix version, you know, on a 2.5, then there's going to be a lot of content to show off. And also, not to mention Lingering Will. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, boy. Anyway, so let's see. What else would there be to talk about? We're not actually even in the boss room yet, though. You actually did see that the map layout is very linear. It is very small, and you know, well, it's not so much because this is what Monster Road actually look like. It's only in the secondary world. Well, technically third world if you're counting Hollow Bastion, but this is actually what they will look like for the layout. So it is very linear, and so you're basically, you know, to go from the start to the boss room, you know, it's literally just, you know, go from point A to point B. So that's literally what the whole map is in a nutshell. So yeah, it's you know, kind of unexpected, but you know, at least it won't take too long though, so I can actually get this done over with. So now, another thing I haven't really had the chance to talk about though is you know, with the talk of my Ansem, you know, with who's voicing him. So yeah, like I said, you know, originally Ansem was voiced by Billy Zane, only in Kingdom Hearts 1 though. But starting with Kingdom Hearts 2 technically, and you know, because of the whole controversy with one of Billy Zane's movies, at least from what I've looked up and from what I've heard. So I mean, you know, don't quote me on that one. But yeah, starting with Kingdom Hearts 2, then Richard Epcar would go and voice Ansem, and so and you know, to kind of talk about him a bit here, like I said, I actually really do like Richard Epcar, and you know, he can actually do a pretty good Ansem. Now, granted though, I mean, I will always miss Billy Zane as Ansem because, oh man, he was so heavily listened to as Ansem, or you know, just in general actually. But you know, Richard Epcar can do a good Ansem, so you know, I'll give it that much though. Now, I will say in Kingdom Hearts 2, starting with, you know, he actually kind of did try a little too hard to, you know, just to make it all hammy, you know, just to show a good example. Well, yeah, when I get to doing Let's Play Kingdom Hearts 2, then you'll definitely see. But yeah, he really upped the hamminess a little too far though. But he actually does gradually get better though. As a matter of fact, Kingdom Hearts 3 would actually be his best performance, and so you know he actually well. Probably sounding, you know, like the closest to Billy Zane, of course, but you know, I would say, you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely his best performance that there is. So, you know, so I mean, it's still a good kind of a casting choice for it though. And I don't know all that much of who he's voiced. I do know that he obviously he's voiced the elderly Joseph Joestar in parts 3 and part 4, and also the end of part 2. Because, you know, I actually remember so much, you know, I especially love one of those lines, you know. I especially love the delivery, where, you know, when he goes like, "I'll never forgive the Japanese!" That was always funny to listen to. I just love the delivery of it, honestly. But yeah, that's as far as I know here. And yes, you can see here, yeah, we're fighting Parasite Cage, and yeah, I just got done with them. So yeah, same strategy as before, except, you know, there's no Pinocchio in there. Therefore, no more of this, get me out of here! And, you know, all that shit there. Also, this is actually one of the moves that Riku's used for the duel mode. So sometimes whenever you, like especially when it comes to larger enemies, like you know the large bodies, for instance, whenever you do the duel mode against them, then you'll actually be doing 5 cards instead of the usual 3. And so what I just did there was a Maelstrom, and so Riku will actually go and you know do that kind of spin attack, and it hits hard. You can actually see how I managed to vanquish Parasite Cage right then and there using Maelstrom. So it's a real good attack using that here. It also should be noted that that Riku doesn't really have any magic as disposable. Well, besides Mickey though, but you know, he's actually more of a physical attacker if anything, with his own kind of weapons. So so yeah, because of that, then there's really no cure or anything. So if you ever want to heal yourself, then either find the HP orbs in the overworld, or you know if you have the Mickey card with you, then that's how you can actually heal you. So the other characters I want to talk about that we saw in the cutscenes, there are 2 new organization members. The guy with the bluish hair is Zexion, and the big guy is Lexius. Zexion is voiced by Vince Corazza, and Lexius is voiced by Dave Boat. Don't quote me on who those voice actors are, or you know, or how much knowledge I have, because I am not very familiar with those 2 voice actors, and I haven't even bothered to look up who else they voice those. So yeah, so don't expect any knowledge on that one. So I just don't know very much. So anyway, we're done here.
I take it you're Riku.
Are you with Ansem?
You are half correct. Let us say that he is not the Ansem with which you are familiar. He is Ansem, and he is not Ansem. Perhaps a nobody best conveys the idea.
Riddles were never my thing. Try again.
He belongs to neither the light nor the dark, but walks the twilight between.
Oh.
Catching on now? Oh, yes. You also stand in between the light and the darkness. It appears we have much in common.
Maybe. Like you said, there really is darkness left inside of me. But so what? Darkness is my enemy! And so are you for reeking of that awful smell!
Oh, so it's a fight you want. Very good. I shall take you on.
Alright, so now we're fighting against Vexen, and so this would be, well, I guess in the case of Riku, Vexen round 1, but overall in this, for if you're on both campaigns, then this would be Vexen round 3. So yeah, just like before, then just tag him up front. Well, actually, not so much in front though, because he has his shield, and so that's very annoying to deal with, especially because he'll constantly guard against you. And so, now one thing that of course, as you can see here, is that since Riku doesn't have as many of those magic plates at all, then, I can't really use Lethal Frame against him like I did with all the others. So now I'm just going to have to go in and attack him head on, and just like with the other organization members. But Vexen himself, he attacks just the same, he still has the Ice Needles, and then he can also still freeze you, him being an Ice-based user. So, you know, do your very best against him as well. And also, yeah, I can see sometimes he'll actually just, you know, break your dark mode as well. Because, you know, Riku was about to attempt that. But then, but Vexen actually managed to stop all that. So yeah, he actually is capable of just breaking your darkness powers. Yeah, I know it's not really a deal. I have to use up my cards for dual mode, but I was under a time limit, so I might as well. So yeah, basically what I did for this fight is that, you know, I just kept trying to find a way to go around behind or go around Vexen's back, so that way to actually be able to attack him like that. Because, you know, because he always has a shield, so, you know, that can't be very annoying to deal with. So. But yeah, so, you know, but with as long as you're in dark mode, then, you know, you'll definitely gain the upper hand with this one, though. But I still forget to use the slates and all that. But there we go. So yeah, it's not too hard. As a matter of fact, this is actually my first attempt for this one here, and I actually managed to score a victory against him. So, so yeah, since I was, you know, all in dark mode, so, you know, that way there I gained the upper hand. So I've actually managed to, you know, just get that one done at least.
I find coursing through you there is a darkness of formidable power growing, well worth the trouble of aggravating you. All this excitement has provided me with invaluable data.
What?
Many thanks, Riku.
It was a trick all along.
Well, it looks like Vexen actually found a way to copy Riku's data, and, you know, I guess that's basically, well, we're gonna see in a minute here about how you know, we see the fake Riku or Faku. Also, I do want to mention that by this point, Sora, Donald, and Goofy have already entered Castle Oblivion, because after the cutscene, you know, from after Agrabah, then that's when they've already entered the castle, because, you know, apparently Riku went in the castle first. So so I just want to mention that there. So. Anyway, so we'll go and end this off here for the next world. So the next time Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Rebirth, we're going to go, of course, to the next Disney World. That's all I'm going to say here, folks. I'm sorry. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.